It's a beautiful day, and I'm looking for something to do. Hey now, basketball's calling you. Welcome to Hill Sports 725 on YouTube as we prepare for an afternoon match here at the cage of Southridge High School. This is David Hill, your play-by-play man for tonight's contest between the visiting Warriors of Aloha High School and your Southridge Skyhawks. Today's the final remake game, hopefully, of the 2016-17 season. These two teams were scheduled to play a few weeks ago, but the weather had other plans as their game was delayed during the recent snowstorm. This will be the only time during the regular season that these two teams plan to meet, and so it'll be imperative to get off to a good start as both teams are coming off of games in the last 48 hours. Aloha last played on Thursday and Southridge last night. Let's go ahead and talk about the visiting Warriors. They're sitting right now at 3-7 and 6th place in the Metro League. They're much like the Falcons of Liberty High School from last night's game. They've currently lost 4 in a row, 5 of 6, and are looking to bounce back against this Skyhawk team. On the offensive side, they average approximately 46.4 points per game and have struggled mightily against the top teams in the league, having obtained their wins against Sunset, Glencoe, and Liberty, the other bottom teams in the Metro League. They're going to want to get hot from behind the arc and will need to get some extra possessions on the offensive glass if they intend to upset the number 13 team in the state. Southridge continues to be on a tear, but as was pointed out last night, they do tend to struggle against the teams that they're supposed to be, starting really sluggish. It'll be interesting to see how they adjust to that fact tonight, and if how they played the final 3 quarters against Liberty is going to carry over to tonight's game. Robert Hester and Philip Fullerton have another game with significant height advantage and will need to watch out as they go after those rebounds to not get caught going over the back of the smaller post players of Aloha. Expect Tyler Galvin and Ryan Lambert to also give a good effort, as Lambert was all over the floor last night playing tough defense, but was punished by some tight officiating. Galvin should look to be a threat from the 3 and expect him to push the ball with either Connor Fajardo or Kyle Maybray running the point. As far as the lineup goes here for tonight, it's going to be much of the same for the Southridge Skyhawks. They still are going to have Cade Hustler as well as Zach Galvin out with injuries. The rest of the team is going to be available, as they've also called up a couple of players from the JV in case they need them. Tonight, Aloha comes into town looking to end their season on a strong note, while Southridge continues to look to dominate the rest of the Metro League and gain some ground in the standings. It's the Warriors versus the Skyhawks here on Hill Sports 725 on YouTube, and we're going to take a quick break and be right back with my keys to the game right after this.
Who do I play for? I play high school basketball for every baller who ever played a pickup game on a driveway, playground, or alley, because we all share the same dream. I play for buzzer beaters, big-time boards, and burying rainmakers. I play high school basketball for the chance to put my hometown in Oregon on the map by playing in a state championship.
Only 0.5% of all high school student athletes play basketball in college, but all 100% of them become adults. That's why playing basketball on their high school team is so important. High school athletes learn life lessons that help them grow up, lessons that can't be taught in the classroom and often aren't taught at home.
I play high school basketball because I love performing in front of a capacity crowd in my hometown gym.
This message presented by the Oregon School Activities Association and the Oregon Athletic Directors Association.
And we're back here in Beaverton, Oregon at Southridge High School, where your Skyhawks are going to be playing host to the visiting Aloha Warriors. Here are tonight's keys to the game. First off, Southridge needs to win the post battle. Points in the paint, rebounds, stops, blocks. Southridge has the height over this Warrior team, and they need to utilize that advantage fully. Hester had 16 boards last night, and both he and Fullerton had a block apiece. If they win down low, they're going to win this game. Number 2, watch out for the fouls. Last night, the Skyhawks had a bit of trouble in this department. The officiating was tight. They were calling it a close game, but it was done on both sides all night. Now, there's no way to know how officiating is going to change and affect the game from day to day, but they will need to keep out of foul trouble in general sense, especially since they've lost 2 of their players to injury. Keep everyone on the court with minimal foul situations, and you can keep Aloha from hurting you from the line. Lastly, guard the 3. Aloha doesn't score much, but they know they're going to need to keep pace with Southridge to pull off the upset. Southridge is going to need to adjust to this fact and guard Aloha and push them off the three-point arc. Keep them to a few shots back there, or I would say 25% from behind the line, and they shouldn't be able to keep this game close. If Southridge can hit these 3 keys, they should be able to win a game I believe they can win running away. I expect the Skyhawks to soar tonight to 5 straight wins, winning this game 72-55. We're going to go ahead and take another quick break at this point, and when we come back, we're going to have the starting lineups and get ready for tip-off as we prepare for the Southridge Skyhawks against the Aloha Warriors here in the cage at Hill Sports 725 on YouTube.
Hey everyone, this is David Hill, and I just want to thank you for listening to this live stream play-by-play of the game this evening. If you could be so kind, I'd love it if you'd simply click like, and feel free to subscribe to Hill Sports 725 as we try to add more games to the channel. Comment below with what you liked or didn't. Feel free to email me at hillsport725@gmail.com. Thanks again, and play on. You're listening to live play-by-play of your Southridge Skyhawk basketball here on YouTube at Hill Sports 725.
And we're back inside the cage at Southridge High School, where your Skyhawks are playing host to the Aloha Warriors in this afternoon's contest. Before we get to the starting lineups, normally I like to start each game with an honorary captain. Now, before each broadcasting game, I would like to honor those men and women serving our country in the armed forces, Coast Guard, police, fire, and first responders, serving both locally in the Northwest, nationally, or on foreign soil. I do hope they all know that our thoughts and our prayers are always with them, and those that are serving overseas, we wish for a speedy return to us and to your loved ones. Tonight, I don't have a specific military or fire first responder personnel in mind. I would like you, though, if you have one that you'd like to have mentioned and honored here at this part of the game, please feel free to send me your nominee to hillsport725@gmail.com with the subject line honorary captain, or tweet me at hillsport725 and provide your nominee's name, rank, time served, and where they served, and I'll do my very best to make sure each and every one of them gets mentioned at a broadcast at some point. Starting lineups here for tonight, beginning with the Aloha Warriors, it's going to be number 3, a 6'3" junior, Trey Hornbuckle. Number 4, a 6'4" junior, Matthew Powers. Number 12, a 6'1" freshman, Tim Dennis. Number 13, a 6' senior, Jason Donis. And number 22, a 6'4" senior, Blake Ling. The Warriors are coached today by Jeff Blair. Your Southridge starters, it's going to be the same from last night. Number 5, the 5'11" junior, Connor Fajardo. Number 22, the 6'2" sophomore, Brock Henry. Number 23, the senior, the 6'3" senior, Tyler Galvin. Number 33, the 6'5" senior, Ryan Lambert. And the big man, number 44, the 6'8" junior, Philip Fullerton. The coach for the Southridge Skyhawks is Phil Vessel. He's assisted by Dave Nuss, Rick Reynolds, Andy Baldwin, and the Southridge athletic trainer is Rebecca Blake. We're going to go ahead and take a break at this time, and we're going to get ready for tip-off here on Hill Sports 725 and at YouTube, where the Southridge Skyhawks are going to play the Aloha Warriors here this afternoon.
You're listening to live play-by-play of your Southridge Skyhawk basketball here on YouTube at Hill Sports 725.
Who do I play for? I play high school basketball for every baller who ever played a pickup game on a driveway, playground, or alley. Because we all share the same dream. I play for buzzer beaters, big-time boards, and burying rainmakers. I play high school basketball for the chance to put my hometown in Oregon on the map by playing in a state championship.
Only 0.5% of all high school student athletes play basketball in college. But all 100% of them become adults. That's why playing basketball in their high school team is so important. High school athletes learn life lessons that help them grow up. Lessons that can't be taught in the classroom and often aren't taught at home.
I play high school basketball because I love performing in front of a capacity crowd in my hometown gym.
This message presented by the Oregon School Activities Association and the Oregon Athletic Directors Association.
Hey everyone, this is David Hill, and I just want to thank you for listening to this live stream play-by-play of the game this evening. If you could be so kind, I'd love it if you'd simply click like and feel free to subscribe to Hillsport 725 as we try to add more games to the channel. Comment below with what you liked or didn't. Feel free to email me at hillsport725@gmail.com. Thanks again, and play on.
And we're back inside the cage here at Southridge High School in Beaverton, Oregon, as we get ready for the game. The starting lineups are getting ready to be announced over the PA system. Let's go ahead and talk a little bit about some statistics that are going to be interesting to take note of. First off, I mentioned before that Aloha only scores about 46.4 points per game. They give up about 52.9. They have not had a great season thus far. I mean, overall, they are 6-11, 3-7 in the Metro League. Their only wins this season in the Metro League have been against the bottom feeders in the league, Glencoe, Sunset, as well as Liberty High School. Their wins outside of the league, they've beaten West Albany, they've beaten, looks like they beat Grants Pass, they beat Cleveland, but really outside of all of that, they've not done very well against the top teams in the state, especially the Jesuits, the Southridges, the Beavertons, the Westviews, and those teams like them. So look for them to try to make some adjustments here tonight. They're also dealing with a lot of injuries as they come into this game here tonight. So that's going to be something to take fact of, as Coach Blair is going to have to go to a shorter bench, as he's probably been doing for the last couple of weeks. Southridge has been mentioned before. Their points per game, they're averaging 61.1 points per game and only giving up 52.9. So they've been doing very well this season. Their actual standings, they're sitting third place in the Metro League still. They can't seem to quite gain the ground that they need in the standings against Beaverton and Westview. They do still have games against Westview, against Beaverton, and again, they've already played Westview twice, but they do have Beaverton and Jesuit still on their schedule, and in fact, they're going to be playing Jesuit at Jesuit this upcoming Tuesday, where they'll have a chance to gain some ground in the Metro League standings. Today's going to be very important. They've got to continue this winning streak that they're on, go for 5 in a row, and see if they can keep pace with the leaders. So the crowd is ready. The starters have been announced, and we're getting ready for tip-off here as Southridge goes up against the Aloha Warriors. Southridge, as always, they are going to start going from my right to left, wearing their white uniforms and black lettering. Aloha is going to be going from my left to right, wearing their blue uniforms with green and yellow lettering. And the tip is up, and Fullerton wins it for Southridge. Fajardo's going to control it as he comes into the front court. Fullerton gets it over to Henry, goes around the screen, but he's going to be double-teamed. Passes it out and throws it away. Good defense to start off by Aloha. Both Hornbuckle and Donis there double-teaming Henry on that defensive set. Southridge is going to be bringing a slight press here as they come across the half-court line. Ball's controlled by Dennis, passing it back and forth up top. Southridge is in their 2-3 defense. Ling has the ball, dribbles it around a little bit, passes over to Dennis, gets it over to Powers. They're staying on the outside. They finally go in down low, still passing the ball around here. Southridge defense isn't really giving them a whole lot to look at. Powers has it, finally gets it over to Donis, who passes it over to Dennis. Ball ends up down low, over to Ling. Shot is up, and that one is good for the first basket of the game, 2-0 Aloha. Galvin goes in down low, passes it to Fullerton, misses the shot, gets his own rebound, loses the ball, but it goes over to Lambert, who misses the shot, and is tipped up by Fullerton. That one is going to be good. 2-2 as we are just a little over a minute into the game. Ball's controlled by Powers here on the front court, guarded by Henry. Going to pass it back and forth around the top of the key. Ends up in Dennis's hands. Ball was tipped, but it's recovered by Ling. Ling drives inside, loses the ball, and stripped by Fajardo. Fajardo comes across, goes to the top of the key. Looks like he's going to make a move. Instead, passes it to Lambert down low. Lambert throws the ball towards Henry, and it's stolen by Aloha by Dennis. Comes across the half court here. 6:16 left in the first quarter. Ball ends up in the hands of Ling, and Ling is going to shoot 15-footer from the far corner, and that one's going to be good. And Aloha's going to call a timeout. That's going to be their first timeout. We're going to go ahead and take a break as Aloha takes an early 4-2 lead with 6:10 left in the first quarter here on Hill Sports 725.
Hey everyone, this is David Hill, and I just want to thank you for listening to this live stream play-by-play of the game this evening. If you could be so kind, I'd love it if you'd simply click like and feel free to subscribe to Hill Sports 725 as we try to add more games to the channel. Comment below with what you liked or didn't. Feel free to email me at hillsport725@gmail.com. Thanks again, and play on.
And we're back here inside the cage at Southridge High School, where Southridge finds themselves down to start the game 4-2 with 6:10 left in the first quarter. Aloha's not going to be bringing the full court press, but it looks like that Justin Vanaken, who's now entered the game for Aloha, is going to be guarding one-on-one. Fajardo shoots a deep three-point. No, it's a pass to Galvin, who dunks it on the alley-oop. What a play. Fajardo looks like he was shooting from Vancouver there, but instead it was a pass to Galvin, who dunks it. Aloha comes across the half-court line, and the ball gets passed around a little bit, and Galvin tries to strip it, but he's going to end up getting called for the foul. That'll be his first foul of the game. Oh, no, excuse me. That's going to be on Jason Donis for Aloha, as Galvin was stealing the ball. 5:43 left in the first quarter. It's all tied up at 4. Ball ends up in Galvin's hands, gets it around. Lambert takes a 15-footer from the far side corner. That's going to be good for 2. 6-4 Southridge, as Aloha brings the ball across the court. Ball ends up in Power's hands. He's looking down low. He tries to go around for Fajardo, but can't do it. The ball ends up back with Powers, who shoots a 3, and that one's going to be just off, and the ball's going to be controlled by Ling, who's going to end up getting fouled on the rebound there. It looks like he was going to get fouled by Lambert. No, excuse me, that's going to be on Fullerton. That'll be his first. One team foul apiece, as Aloha is going to have the ball. Ball's inbounded over to Hornbuckle, who takes a shot, and that one's no good. Rebound to Southridge. Fajardo moving the ball up quickly. Passes to a streaking Fullerton, goes in the lane, misses the shot, almost gets fouled. Rebound Galvin, who goes up and misses his shot, and it's going to be Southridge ball as it goes out of bounds in the front court baseline. 5 minutes left to play in the first quarter, 6-4 Southridge. Galvin's going to be inbounding it as Southridge goes into the box. Galvin looking for Fajardo, finally gets it out to him, and passed over to Henry, misses the three-point shot, controlled by Aloha. Ball's over in the front court. Pass down low to Powers, goes up for the shot. That one's no good, and it's going to be controlled by Fullerton, and a foul's going to be called. Looks like it's going to be called on Powers. That should be his first. As Fullerton was coming down with the rebound, Powers reached in, and Robert Hester is going to be entering the game for the first time tonight. Be replacing Ryan Lambert. Southridge is going to be bringing up the ball quickly. Galvin has it, tries to pass it over to Henry, but it gets stolen by Edwards of Aloha, who's in the game for the first time. Ball gets passed around. It's controlled by Donis. Passes over to Powers in the near side corner. Goes down low to Ling. Ling tries to make a move. Passes over to Hornbuckle, who shoots it and gets the 2. 6-6 Southridge, 4:15 left in the first quarter. Henry controls it. Aloha is bringing a nice press in the front court, and Galvin makes a move, and he's going to get called for the travel there. Took a dribble and a long jump. Couldn't quite get another dribble in there, but he's going to be coming out. Jackson Logan will be entering in the game, as well as Kyle Mabray. So we've got Hester, Logan, Mabray, Fullerton, and Henry all on the court for Southridge. Aloha's going to go ahead and inbound the ball. It's going to be Hornbuckle bringing it across half-court line. Southridge not bringing the full-court press yet. Passes it around over to Ling. Ling on the far side, looks inside, gets it back over to Hornbuckle. Hornbuckle with a 15-footer from the high post. That one's no good. Ball almost controlled by Powers and loses it. Southridge rebounds it and brings it up front court. Hester gets the ball tipped out of his hands while passing it to Mabry, who recovers it. Jackson Logan now has it, looking inside. They're going to go ahead and pass it around top of the key. Fullerton ends up with it. Fullerton makes a move. He goes inside, passes it to wide open Hester, who lays it up and in. That's going to make it 8-6 Southridge with 3:20 left in the first quarter. Ball's controlled by Aloha. Passes it over to the far side corner where there's Edwards. Almost throws away the ball. It ends up in Ling's hands, who shoots the 15-footer from the free throw line, and that one is good. He's got 6 of the 8 points for Aloha, 8-8. Hester with it. Top of the key, gets it over to Mabry finally, who throws it up to Fullerton down low, makes a move, and gets blocked. Blocked by Ling. And it's going to be Southridge ball as substitutions for Aloha happen. Lambert's back in for Southridge. Number 20, Sam Panton, is in the game. Mabry inbounds it to Hester. He makes a move down low, misses it. Crowd is calling for a foul here, but Hester gets his own rebound and brings it back up. Makes it 10-8 Southridge. 2:45 left in the first quarter. So Donis controlling the ball, gets it over to Hornbuckle, who's going to bring it across the half-court line. Southridge still running that 2-3 defense. Hornbuckle ends up with it. He makes a move and an easy lay-in in the paint. 10-all with 2.5 left in the first. Mabry, he decides he's going to put a burst of speed, but pulls back. Picks up his dribble and gets it over to Lambert, top of the key. Logan's going to get double teamed, and he's going to be fouled by Ling. That'll be his first foul, and 4th for Aloha. So 4-1 Aloha on the fouls there. And Tyler Galvin's going to be coming back in the game for Brock Henry. So now for Southridge, we've got Jackson Logan, Kyle Mabry, Tyler Galvin, Ryan Lambert, and Robert Hester all on the court for the Skyhawks. Mabry gets the inbound with 2:15 left in the first quarter, all tied up at 10. Goes to the far side, gets it over to Lambert at top of the key. Moves around. He makes a move, goes down low, goes up for the shot, and that one's good, and a foul. Foul is on Blake Ling. That'll be his second foul with 2:07 left in the first quarter, and it is 12-10 Southridge with Lambert. Lambert shooting one shot for the and one. And that shot is up and good. And we're going to have a substitution. So Tim Dennis is back in the game. So we've got Hornbuckle, Dennis, Powers, as well as Donis and Panton all in the game for Aloha. And Hornbuckle has the ball. He gets triple teamed there, loses the ball in the strip, and ends up Hester with throwing it away, and Aloha has the ball controlled by Powers. Slow it down and get it back to Dennis at the top over by the half-court circle. Passes to the far side. Panton has it. Powers with it and makes a move from the far side and can't hit the shot. Controlled by Galvin. Galvin goes 1-on-2. He goes up. No fouls called. That shot's no good. And it's going to be controlled by Aloha. 1:35 left in the first quarter. 13-10 Southridge. Donis ends up passing it down low. Back out to Powers, who shoots the three. That one looks short, and it is. Powers gets his own rebound. Somebody's got a box out there. And it's going to be passed back out to Donis. Donis looking around. Powers with it on the near side wing. Looking down low, nothing doing. Donis with it, makes a move on Lambert. Nothing there. Passes it back out over to Dennis. Donis with it again, passing it back and forth. Dennis in control of it near the half-court line, guarded by Tyler Galvin. Looks like Southridge has moved to a man-to-man defense here. Ball ends up in Powers' hands on the near side. Passes it over to Hornbuckle. Takes a 15-footer, and that one's no good. Controlled by Lambert. And Southridge is going to be pushing it up. Galvin with it, near side. Southridge looks like they're running a 2-3 zone right now. Mabry with it on the far side wing. He's guarded by Dennis. Looking around, gets it over to Hester. Swings it over to Galvin. Galvin trying to make a move, nothing. Passes it over down low to Hester. Hester, he makes a move. Passes it across court over to Jackson Logan. Wide open for the three, and it gets stuck on the rim. The shot looked good, but that's going to be a jump ball situation, and Aloha. So Logan misses the three-point shot on that one. And ball's going to go back over to the Warriors with 24.8 seconds left in the first quarter. Southridge up by 3. Ball's inbounded. They're throwing it around. Southridge is trying to bring a full court press, but Aloha's getting right by it. Pass goes down low, and it's stopped by Logan, but it ends up in Hornbuckle's hands. Dennis with it down low, over to Panton. Panton lays it up and in. And that makes it 13-12 with 8 seconds left. Southridge has got to inbound it. Lambert ends up with it almost stripped, but yep, it ends up getting stripped. He doesn't control it. Dennis with it goes up for the layup, and that one is no good at the buzzer, as Southridge is going to still have the lead at the end of the first quarter, 13-12. We're going to go ahead and take a quick break here as we go into the second quarter with Southridge leading it by 1 here on Hill Sports 725 on YouTube.
Who do I play for? I play high school basketball for every baller who ever played a pickup game on a driveway, playground, or alley. Because we all share the same dream. I play for buzzer beaters, big-time boards, and burying rainmakers. I play high school basketball for the chance to put my hometown in Oregon on the map by playing in a state championship.
Only 0.5% of all high school student athletes play basketball in college. But all 100% of them become adults. That's why playing basketball on their high school team is so important. High school athletes learn life lessons that help them grow up. Lessons that can't be taught in the classroom and often aren't taught at home.
I play high school basketball because I love performing in front of a capacity crowd in my hometown gym.
This message presented by the Oregon School Activities Association and the Oregon Athletic Directors Association.
And we're back inside the cage at Southridge High School. It's going to be Skyhawk ball from the half court to start the second quarter. They lead at 13-12. And Bradley Bickler is making his first appearance. So it's going to be Bickler, Mabray, Brock Henry, Ryan Lambert, and Robert Hester all on the court for Southridge to start the second quarter. For Aloha, it looks like they're going to have the same guys that ended the quarter. We've got Donis, Dennis, Panton, Powers, and Hornbuckle. Mabray's going to be running the point here as the second quarter goes underway. Up 13-12. Looking inside, picks up his dribble, and ends up with Lambert at the top of the key, guarded by Powers. Henry from the near side shoots a three-pointer. That one's no good. And the rebound's controlled by Lambert, no good. Controlled by Hester, and that one goes up and in. Good offensive boards there. And Lambert's going to get called for a foul on the inbounds. That'll be his first foul. It's only the second of the half, but he's got to watch himself because he got into a lot of foul trouble last night. Aloha inbounds it. Brock Henry with it. He steals it and goes up, and he can't make it. Rebound controlled by Aloha. Henry tries to get the steal, and he gets called for the foul. And that's going to be his first as well. And just as quickly as we've begun, Southridge goes from 1 foul to 3. We're only 30 seconds into the second quarter, up 15-12. So 4-3 on the fouls in favor of Aloha. At 7, you start shooting free throws. Aloha trying to inbound it. Finally gets it inside. Double team. Bickler strips the ball. He ends up with it. Mabray, near side corner. Hester makes a move down low and lays it up and in. Aloha inbounding it once again. Southridge is bringing the press now. They're trying to change things up as they often do. Really confusing, this Aloha team. Ball's controlled by Hornbuckle. Gets it over to Powers in the near side wing. Powers guarded by Lambert as Southridge is running the man-to-man defense. Ends up over in Panton's hands on the far side wing. Guarded by Hester. Looks inside, passes it to Powers down low. The streaking Panton can't control the pass. Bickler ends up with it. Passes it weakly over to Mabray, but it ends up getting over there. The ball's almost stripped there. Henry, the near side wing, ends up with it, and Bickler now has it. Hester wide open down low, finally gets double teamed, misses the shot, gets his own rebound. That one missed. Lambert goes up for the shot, then he's going to get fouled. That's going to be a foul on Matthew Powers, his second foul. And Lambert's going to be shooting 2 shots here as he was going up for that shot on the offensive rebound. First shot is no good off the back iron, and it looks like that number 2, James Edwards, is going to be coming in for Aloha for the first time tonight. Lambert takes the second shot, and that one looks good and rolls around and finally goes in. He's got 6 on the night. It's 18-12 Southridge with 6:39 left in the half. Hornbuckle has a wide open lane. He goes up for the shot, and Maybury tries to get the foul, but no doing there as Hornbuckle gets the lay-in. Henry now with it in the front court. Hester goes down low to Lambert. Lambert makes a move, jump hook, and that one's good. Good move by Ryan Lambert. He's got 10, 20-14 Southridge with 6:15 left in the half. Ball controlled by Dennis. Oh, he almost picks up his dribble and throws it down to Edwards, who can't control the pass. It's a little too fast. Fullerton's back in the game for Hester. As for Aloha, Blake Ling is back as well. It's going to be Southridge ball with 6:11 left in the half. They lead at 20-14. Brock Henry has it on the far side. They're going to swing it over to Maybury, his near side wing. Goes around the screen, back over to Henry. Henry makes a move down low. Passes it out to Bickler, who he makes a move, and he goes up for the dunk. Can't dunk it, but it lays it in, and he gets his first basket of the game, 22-14, Southridge. Powers with it for Aloha, near side wing. He's guarded by Fullerton. He's looking around, gets it over to he gets it over to Ling. Ling loses it, controlled by Henry. He pushes it up. Mayberg gets it on the break and gets the shot and the foul. That one's going to be good for a three-point play. Foul is going to be on Edwards, his first, as Maybury is going to be getting his and one shot. Timeout, though, is going to be called by Coach Blair for Aloha. That's going to be his second, and that's his 30-second timeout there. He's out of 30s. So we're going to take a break here at Southridge High School. It's 24-14 Skyhawks, 5:38 left in the half on Hill Sports 725.
Hey everyone, this is David Hill, and I just want to thank you for listening to this live stream play-by-play of the game this evening. If you could be so kind, I'd love it if you'd simply click like and feel free to subscribe to Hill Sports 725 as we try to add more games to the channel. Comment below with what you liked or didn't. Feel free to email me at hillsports725@gmail.com. Thanks again, and play on.
And we're back here inside the cage at Southridge High School in Beaverton, Oregon, where Kyle Maybury is going to be taking his and one shot after making the basket and getting the foul from Blake Ling of Aloha. And that shot is up, looks good, and nothing but the bottom of the bucket. And it's 25-14. Southridge leads it. Ball's controlled by Hornbuckle, but they're going to pass it around a little bit. Ends up in Dennis's hands. Back over to Hornbuckle, top of the key. He's looking inside. Southridge is switching around to that 2-3 defense, controlled by Dennis. Dennis back over to Hornbuckle. He makes a move, tries to get it inside to Edwards, and can't do it. It's off his leg. Bickler controls it, and Southridge starts pushing it. Henry with it. He makes a move, and he's going to get fouled on the shot, and he's going to go for two. And that foul's going to be on Trey Hornbuckle, his first foul, as Henry goes up for two shots. So once again, we've got Bickler, Fullerton, Henry, Maybury, and Lambert on the court for Southridge. As Henry shoots his first free throw, that one is up and rolls around a little bit and then finally goes in. That is his first point of the game. Aloha's going to be bringing in a couple of players here. Panton's back in, as well as Donis coming in for Powers and for Powers as well as Ling. Henry takes his second shot. That one is up and good. 27-14 Southridge. They're making a run in the second quarter like they did last night, and Aloha's going to inbound it. Southridge going into that 2-3 defense. Oh, looks like, yep, 2-3 defense here. Ball's going to be controlled by Donis. Drives around, gets it over to Hornbuckle as Coach Blair is calling out the play from the sideline. Hornbuckle picks up his dribble. Finally gets it over to Dennis. He's over by the half-court line, guarded by Maybury. Southridge has gone to man-to-man defense now. Controlled by Donis. Down over to Hornbuckle in the near side corner, guarded by Fullerton. Makes a move, goes up and over Lambert. That one's no good. And Southridge controls the ball. Henry, he's pushing it forward. Nothing there, but finally gets it over to Lambert down low. Lambert, ball is stripped Ball is stripped by Donis, controlled by Aloha. Donis is going to bring it up, trying to look for something inside. Finally gets it over to Dennis, who's guarded by Henry. Edwards now has it, gets it over to Donis from the top of the key. No good on the two-point shot, and the ball is finally controlled by Henry, and it gets stripped, and it's going to be out of bounds on Aloha as Panton was trying to reach in for that steal, but couldn't quite get it. Hester's now back in the game, as well as Fajardo. And now number 23, Justin Vandekin, is in the game for Aloha as well. 4 minutes left in the game, 27-14 Southridge. Vandekin's going to guard Fajardo as he brings it across half court. Bickler with it now, near side wing, looking down low. Ball's getting passed around, finally ends up in Henry's hands. Looks for Hester. He gets it down low to Hester, double team. Henry thinks about the three, no, makes a move, and is going to get called for the travel. That one looked good to me. I didn't see the misstep there, but it's going to be a Aloha ball nonetheless. 3:51 left in the half. Aloha inbounds it immediately over to Vandekin. Vandekin looking for somewhere to throw it. Gets it over to Hornbuckle finally. Ball ends up down low. Try to get it to Edwards, and he can't control the pass. Looks like he's wearing a cast on his hand a little bit on a couple of his fingers. He's definitely taped up, so he's going to have a hard time controlling that ball. Fajardo bringing it across court, guarded by Vandekin. He's looking around, passes over to Henry, far side wing. Bickler ends up with it, far side corner, looking inside to both Fullerton and Hester, nothing there. Fullerton ends up with it, gets it over to a wide open Hester who can't control it, and then Vandekin picks it up for Aloha. He's going to bring it across, guarded by Henry, and finally gets double teamed with Fajardo. Edwards with it, tries to pass it, and goes off of Hester's hands and out of bounds. Aloha's going to get it on the front court baseline with 3:17 left in the half, 27-14 Southridge. And Matthew Powers is going to be coming back in for Aloha. And he's coming in for, looks like he was coming in for Donis, but instead Edwards is going to be coming out. So it's going to be Aloha on the inbound. Powers is inbounding it. Passes it to the near side corner, and finally gets over to Vandekin near the half-court line. Controlled by Hornbuckle. Takes a shot from the free throw line. That one's no good. Everybody goes up for the rebound. Finally controlled by Panton. Panton goes up, and that one is good. Southridge going to go ahead and push it up. Henry makes a move, tries to drive inside. Passes it over to Fullerton. Ball is tipped, but he tries to control it, and the three guys are all over it. Ends up in Vandekin's hands, who's going to push the ball up. 27-16 Southridge. Powers with it, near side. Tries to get it into Hornbuckle, who ends up the ball getting tipped by Fullerton out of bounds as Tyler Galvin comes in for Southridge. Once again, Matthew Powers is going to be inbounding it as Aloha's in the box. Looking around, finally passes it deep and almost stolen by Fajardo, but controlled by Hornbuckle. Vandekin with it, guarded by Henry. Near the half-court circle. Powers now near side. They're passing it around on the outside, looking for somewhere to go. It ends up in Panton's hands at the free throw line, guarded by Hester. Goes back outside to Vandekin. Southridge in that 2-3 defense. Powers with it, top of the key. 2:22 left in the half. Ball ends up in Hornbuckle's hands, back out to Vandekin. Southridge is doing a good job not letting them get a good look at the shot. 2:10 left. They're just going to hold the ball here until they find what they like. Vandekin with it, gets it over to Hornbuckle. Hornbuckle finally goes down low, and it was meant for Panton, but the ball gets missed, and Donis controlled it and gets it back out. Hornbuckle back down low to Panton. Panton just can't hold on to the ball. Finally controlled by Fullerton, who gets it over to Henry as he falls to the ground. Henry pushes it up, though. Tries to make a move, but nothing there. Swings over to Galvin in the near side corner. Now Fajardo, near side wing, guarded by Vandekin. Henry looks for Hester, tries to get it over to him, finally does. Makes a move, passes it out to a wide open Galvin for three from the corner. Oh, in and out, and no good for Galvin. He's usually been money from there, and he is not shooting well. He is 1 for 4 on the night, and that was his first three-point attempt, no good. 1:20 left in the half, 27-16 Southridge. Powers with it, passes it over to Hornbuckle on the top of the key. Vandekin's going to control it, guarded by Henry. He's calling for a screen, makes a move, nothing there. Back over to Hornbuckle, inside to Panton in the free throw line. Guarded by Hester, thinks about the shot, but no. Tries to get over to Hornbuckle, gets away with the travel there, and finally gets over to Panton, who goes up for the lay-in. 27-18 with 55 seconds left. Galvin tries to make a move, picks up his dribble. Wide open Fajardo for three from the wing. Again, in and out, no good, but Fullerton makes a move to control it. Offensive rebounds are going to be key. 40 seconds left in the half. Henry, shot from the far side corner. That one in and out, but Fullerton with the rebound, and that one goes in for the layup. Good offensive set there with three offensive rebounds in that for Fullerton. Ball's controlled by Donis. Gets it back out to Hornbuckle on the near side wing with 20 seconds left. Coach Blair's calling for Aloha to take only one shot. Lambert's ready to come in for Southridge, but it doesn't look like he's going to get an opportunity. Donis with it, guarded by Henry, passing it back and forth. They're just going to hold it until they need to take a shot. 9 seconds. Vanaken has it, guarded by Fajardo. He's going to finally make a move. 5 seconds. Over to Donis. Donis controlled by Henry. 3 seconds. Who's going to take a shot? Donis lost track of time, and Henry makes a move to poke the ball out, and Donis doesn't even get a chance. And that's going to bring us to halftime, where your Skyhawks lead at 29-18 here at the half. We're going to go ahead and take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll have some halftime statistics here on Hill Sports 725 on YouTube.
Hey everyone, this is David Hill, and I just want to thank you for listening to this live stream play-by-play of the game this evening. If you could be so kind, I'd love it if you'd simply click like, and feel free to subscribe to Hill Sports 725 as we try to add more games to the channel. Comment below with what you liked or didn't. Feel free to email me at hillsport725@gmail.com. Thanks again, and play on. You're listening to live play-by-play of your Southridge Skyhawk basketball here on YouTube at Hill Sports 725.
And we're back here inside the cage at Southridge High School as your Skyhawks take a pretty good lead into the halftime. They're up 11, 29-18 at the half. So, story of the first half so far, it's been a lot about rebounding here for both teams. Both Aloha and Southridge has been doing very well in the offensive boards. I would say that Southridge does have the advantage as Fullerton and Hester keep grabbing those offensive boards, getting those extra possessions, and getting some second chance and third chance buckets. As we look at the score sheet here for the Aloha Warriors, it started off with Blake Ling, number 22, the starter for Aloha, started on fire. He ended the first quarter with 6 points, but didn't even take a shot in the second. Trey Hornbuckle, the other starter, he has 6 as well on 3 of 7 shooting, and Panton is 3 for 3 on his shots, and he has 6 as well. And they're the only 3 scorers for Aloha thus far, leading to their 18 points. On the Southridge side, a lot of the same as what we've seen with them before. They don't really have a clear-cut leader when it comes to the offensive statistics, but anybody can go off for 20 or 25 and lead the game. So as of right now, Fajardo is 0 for 1, doesn't have any points. Henry has 2 points on 2 for 2 free throws, but he's 0 for 5 and 0 for 3 on the three-point shots. Tyler Galvin, he got 2 in the first quarter, but he's missed all 3 of his next shots since then. He's 1 for 4 and 0 for 1 from behind the arc. Lambert, he's got 10 with 2 free throws on 2 for 3 shooting and 6 points from the field on 3 for 5 shooting. Fullerton ends up with 4 points. He's only taken 4 shots, but he's gotten a ton of rebounds and has been able to save the ball on several occasions. Hester has got 8 points on 4 of 7 shooting from the first half, as well as Kyle Maybray's got 3, and Bickler has 2 as well for your 29 points for the Skyhawks. So right now, what a couple of differences that I'm noticing here in this particular game, Southridge hasn't really been bringing the full court press completely like they did last night. One of the things that they did against Liberty is they would implement that full court press and really mess with Liberty throughout the game, really until the end, when it was with no doubt who was going to win that game last night. Tonight, they seem to be letting Aloha come across the half-court line a little bit more. They've brought in that full court press lightly, and they've done it heavily for maybe a minute or two, leading to a couple of steals and a couple of easy points. But outside of that, their defense has really been on the front court side when Aloha has the ball in the half court. And Aloha just can't seem to find any way to score. They're bobbling passes, they're missing shots, and Southridge is all over them. I mean, as a whole, they haven't taken a single three-point shot. They've all been from inside the arc. Some of them a little bit deeper than others, some from the line itself, but nothing from outside. They're trying to go down low and just not having any success there. We're going to go ahead and take another quick break at this time as we get to the midway point of halftime as your Southridge Skyhawks lead the Aloha Warriors here 29-18 inside the cage on Hill Sports 725 on YouTube.
Who do I play for? I play high school basketball for every baller who ever played a pickup game on a driveway, playground, or alley. Because we all share the same dream. I play for buzzer beaters, big-time boards, and burying rainmakers. I play high school basketball for the chance to put my hometown in Oregon on the map by playing in a state championship.
Only 0.5% of all high school student athletes play basketball in college. But all 100% of them become adults. That's why playing basketball in their high school team is so important. High school athletes learn life lessons that help them grow up. Lessons that can't be taught in the classroom and often aren't taught at home.
I play high school basketball because I love performing in front of a capacity crowd in my hometown gym.
This message presented by the Oregon School Activities Association and the Oregon Athletic Directors Association.
And we're back here inside the cage of Southridge High School as we get a little bit closer to the second half, where your Skyhawks lead the game 29-18 here at halftime. So here's the foul situation. It didn't get too out of control like it did yesterday with all the fouls that were called last night, but Southridge did a great job of keeping themselves calm and allowing themselves to not get into that foul trouble that we saw yesterday. So they had 3 team fouls. Henry, Lambert, and Fullerton each have 1. Everybody else is clear to go. So we're going to have a second half where you can be very aggressive with your play as well as with your substitutions, as you can get guys in and out and just kind of move the pace of the ball. Over on the Aloha side, they had a total of 7 fouls in the first half. Hornbuckle with 1, Powers with 2, Donis with 1, and Ling with 2, as well as Hornbuckle, I believe, has 2 fouls. My apologies. So they had a total of 7 in the first half. Powers, Hornbuckle, and Ling each have 2, and so that's going to make it kind of interesting. They're not really in foul trouble, but you only get 5 in high school, so they're going to need to be careful the rest of the way. Let's go ahead and talk about the keys to the game that we mentioned in the pregame show. First off, Southridge needed to win the post battle. They are absolutely doing that tonight. They've given up some rebounds on when Aloha's on offense. They've given up some second chance opportunities, but the vast majority of the time, this Southridge team is really dominating the boards. Between Fullerton and Hester getting the offensive rebounds, as well as on the defensive side, keeping Aloha to as few second chance opportunities as possible. They're really doing a good job slowing Aloha down and on those missed shots. Second of all, watch the fouls. They had 3 in the first half, and nobody has more than 1. So they're doing good on that aspect of the game. So what they need to do in the second half, they can use that to their advantage as they play a little bit more aggressively and hopefully bring out that full court press that we've seen over the course of the season. Lastly, guard the 3. Don't allow Aloha to take a lot of three-point shots or shoot over 25%. They've absolutely done that. Aloha hasn't even been thinking about the three-point shot, hasn't taken a single one from behind the arc, and so you can't make what you don't shoot. They're taking a lot of shots from inside that arc, and even then they're not shooting great from there, as only 3 players have scored for the Warriors. So by far, this Southridge team is doing everything that they need to do to win, and controlling this game. They were only up by 3 at the end of the first, or they were only up by 1 at the end of the first quarter. They ended up winning the second quarter 16-6 for a total score of 29-18, and have done a very good job, especially in the second quarter. I think they just need that first quarter to kind of get warm a little bit, and once they've gotten warm, they go full throttle at that point. They just need to work on doing that in the first quarter as well. We're going to go ahead and take another break as we get ready for the second half to get started as the teams are out on the court warming up. Southridge leads at 29-18 here on Hill Sports 725 on YouTube.
Who do I play for? I play high school basketball for every baller who ever played a pickup game on a driveway, playground, or alley. Because we all share the same dream. I play for buzzer beaters, big-time boards, and burying rainmakers. I play high school basketball for the chance to put my hometown in Oregon on the map by playing in a state championship.
Only 0.5% of all high school student athletes play basketball in college. But all 100% of them become adults. That's why playing basketball on their high school team is so important. High school athletes learn life lessons that help them grow up. Lessons that can't be taught in the classroom and often aren't taught at home.
I play high school basketball because I love performing in front of a capacity crowd in my hometown gym.
This message presented by the Oregon School Activities Association and the Oregon Athletic Directors Association.
And we're back inside the cage as the second half is getting ready to get underway. It's going to be Aloha ball. They're going to be moving from my right to left, again wearing their blue uniforms and green lettering. Southridge will be going from my left to right in their white uniforms and black lettering. And on the fouls, let me correct myself. Hornbuckle does have 1 foul. Edwards has a second foul. He has 1 foul that I was confusing there for Hornbuckles there. So we start the second half as Aloha controls the ball. It's going to be controlled by Dennis coming across the half-court line. He ends up throwing the ball away a little bit, but it's finally controlled by Ling. Ling ends up losing the ball, controlled by Southridge. Galvin tries to make a move, goes down low and reach-in, gets away with it. Ball ends up in Henry's hands, who head fakes, goes up. That one's no good. Gets his own rebound, but the ball goes loose. Ball is controlled finally by Dennis, but Henry steals it. Lambert goes up, and he gets fouled as he goes up for the shot. And that's going to be a foul on Matthew Powers. And that'll be his 3rd foul, 29 seconds into the second half. And Lambert's going to be shooting 2 free throws. He is 2 for 3 on the night so far. First shot is up and looks good. It is good. So on the court, we've got starters: Fajardo, Henry, Lambert, Galvin, and Fullerton. And for Aloha, it looks like the same here. It's going to be Powers, Dennis, Donis, Hornbuckle, and Ling. Second shot's no good, controlled by Aloha, as Donis is going to be bringing it up across, passes it over to Dennis across half court, and Southridge is going into a man-to-man defense here. Ball's getting passed around over by the half-court circle. Dennis tries to make a move, picks up his dribble, passes over to Hornbuckle, guarded by Lambert. He looks inside, gets it over to the free throw line, controlled by Ling, and the shot is blocked by Galvin, controlled by Fajardo, who gets the ball stripped by Powers. He makes a spin move and goes up and in. Oh, good move by Powers. Makes it 30-20 Southridge here in the third quarter. 6:53 left in the third. Fajardo, top of the key, guarded by Dennis, gets it over to Henry on the far side wing, looking for Fullerton down low. Ends up over at Galvin, the near side corner. He tries to drive inside, but gets it over to Fullerton, takes a 3. That one's up, and that one's good. Have you ever seen a big man shoot like him? I don't think you have. Fullerton hits the 3. Ball is controlled by Dennis, but the ball is stripped on the pass. Henry controls it, goes up for the shot, and that one's good. That makes it 35-20 Southridge, 6:20 left in the third. Donis going to go ahead and pass it all the way to Powers on the front court. Gets it back over to Donis, and the ball's lost. Controlled by Henry. He goes up for the easy layup, uncontested. That one's going to be good, and Coach Blair for Aloha needs to call a timeout. He's seen enough. With 6:07 left in the third, it is Southridge up 37-20. We're going to take a break. Hill Sports 725 here on YouTube.
Hey everyone, this is David Hill, and I just want to thank you for listening to this live stream play-by-play of the game this evening. If you could be so kind, I'd love it if you'd simply click like and feel free to subscribe to Hill Sports 725 as we try to add more games to the channel. Comment below with what you liked or didn't. Feel free to email me at hillsport725@gmail.com. Thanks again, and play on. You're listening to live play-by-play of your Southridge Skyhawks basketball here on YouTube at Hill Sports 725.
And we're back inside the cage as both teams are coming out of the timeout huddle. 6:07 left in the third as Southridge leads at 37-20. After Aloha gets the first bucket of the half, Southridge has scored 7 in a row. They inbound it, and the ball is stripped by Fajardo, who passes over to Henry. He thinks about the three, but drives inside. Gets it over to Lambert. Lambert, guarded, moves up and passes over to Fullerton. Fullerton goes up, guarded by the double team, and is going to get fouled by Edwards, who's back in the game for Aloha. And that'll be his second foul, as Fullerton is going to be taking his first 2 free throws of the game. Fullerton takes his first shot, looks a little bit long, but that one goes in. So still the starters for Southridge here on the court with 5:52 left in the third quarter. And Fullerton's second shot is up and looks good, and it is good. 39-20. Southridge is breaking the press now finally. They're throwing loops over at Aloha, trying to make them make adjustments. Ball's controlled by Ling. He makes a move to drive inside. Passes it over to Powers, who gets it out to Hornbuckle. Hornbuckle back over to Ling, near side wing, who's looking inside. Passes up the far side, controlled by Hornbuckle. Hornbuckle drives into the paint. Nothing doing. He passes finally to Dennis, who goes up and misses the shot. And ball's controlled by Lambert, who gets it out to Fajardo. Fajardo gets it over to a wide open Henry from the near side corner. Good. 42-20, Southridge with 5:20 left in the third. Hester's going to be coming in on the next break, as well as Donis for Aloha. Powers has the ball in the far side corner. Looking around to where to go. He finally gets it over to Ling. Ling looks around, top of the key, trying to decide what to do. Finally dribbles over to the far side, passes it over to Dennis. Dennis, guarded by Lambert. He shoots a 2, and long 2, no good. Controlled by Galvin, who's going to bring it up court. They swing it back and forth. Galvin finally gets over to wide open Fullerton down low. Lays it up, and that's good. He's got 7 in the quarter, 44-20, Southridge. Southridge still bringing that full court press as Hornbuckle controls it, gets it across half court and over to Powers. Powers, far side wing, looking to where to go. He drives it down the middle, takes a wide open floater, and that one's good. And timeout's going to be called by Aloha. And we'll go ahead and take a break as he takes his second full timeout and only has 2 left. Southridge leads at 44-22 with 4:24 left in the third quarter here on Hill Sports 725 on YouTube.
Hey everyone, this is David Hill, and I just want to thank you for listening to this live stream play-by-play of the game this evening. If you could be so kind, I'd love it if you'd simply click like and feel free to subscribe to Hill Sports 725 as we try to add more games to the channel. Comment below with what you liked or didn't. Feel free to email me at hillsport725@gmail.com. Thanks again, and play on. You're listening to live play-by-play of your Southridge Skyhawks basketball here on YouTube at Hill Sports 725.
And we're back inside the cage at Southridge High School here in Beaverton, Oregon, where your Skyhawks lead the game with 4:24 left in the third quarter, 44-22. It's going to be Southridge's ball once again going from my left to right as Robert Hester makes his first appearance of the half. So it's Lambert, Hester, Mabray is also in the game, Henry, and Galvin. For Aloha, it's going to be Hornbuckle, Donis, Ling, Edwards. Oh, Southridge gets it across here. Ball's controlled by Lambert, who almost loses it. Finally gets back out to Mabray. But Panson is also he's the 5th one for Aloha. Lambert gets it over to Henry on the far side. Tries to drive in, gets double teamed, passes it out, and the ball's going to be out on Aloha. Ling tries to get to the steal. protesting that it was off of Lambert, but yeah, he was all over that one. Galvin's going to be inbounding the ball, looking inside. Finally goes over to Mabry on the back court. He's going to be guarded by Donis. Tries to drive in. Donis reaches in, double teamed here. And a foul's going to be called, and it's going to be on Mabry for the charge as he dropped his shoulder and kind of pushed in. His first foul, first of the half for the Skyhawks. So with 3:55 left in the third quarter, Aloha's going to be inbounding it. And it's going to be controlled by Donis, who gets it back over to Ling and still in the back court. Donis now finally gets it over to the front court. Southridge bringing that 1-3-1 defense here. Edwards with it. Tries to drive inside, but picks up his dribble. Ball ends up over in Ling's hands. And pass inside, stolen by Lambert. Gets it over to Mabry, who gets it to Henry. Wide open for the three, takes it, and a little bit long, and controlled by Hester. Hester gets it back out to Galvin, back over to Henry. Thinks about the three again, decides against it. Mabry with it, top of the key, drives into the lane. Passes over to Hester, who's down low, and the foul is going to be called. Looks like it's going to be called on Panton there as Hester was receiving the pass. No, that one's going to be on Edwards. That's his third, fourth for Aloha here in the third quarter. Mabry's going to be inbounding it and passes it deep to Hester, who's outside the three-point arc. Galvin has it on the corner, drives inside, gets it over to Lambert, makes a move. He goes up and lays it off the glass, and that one's good. 46-22, Southridge with 3:05 left in the third quarter. Ball gets stolen by Henry on the pass, controlled by Mabry. 3-on-2, gets it over to Henry, wide open for the three from the wing. No, that one's no good. He's missed two in a row. Controlled by Aloha. Donis has it, guarded by Henry as he goes across the half-court circle. Passes over to, they passed it around here. It was over to Ling, who passed it inside to Hornbuckle, who ends up laying the ball up and in. 46-24, Southridge. Mabry has it near the half-court circle. He tries to drive inside. Nothing there. Galvin now inside. Passes over to Hester, who makes a move and goes up and in on the layup. 48-24, Southridge. Hester now has 10 on the game. Aloha bringing it across half court here. And Mabry blocks the pass and ends up going out of bounds. It'll be Aloha ball. Jackson Logan and Bradley Bickler are coming in for the first time of the half for Ryan Lambert and Brock Henry. And number 23, Justin Vanaken and Matthew Powers are back in the game for Aloha. As Aloha seems to be running a very, very short bench here. So it's Aloha ball in the front court, looking around where to pass it. Finally gets over to Powers in the back court. Powers guarded by Galvin, brings it up, looking to make a move. It passes it over to Panton. Panton at the free throw line, guarded by Hester. He goes down low, shoots it up, and no good. And it's going to be controlled by Mabry. Passes it over to Galvin on the far side wing. He takes a 20-footer from the three-point arc, no good. The ball's controlled by Aloha, and they're going to be bringing it up. Down the near side corner, and Panton passes the ball. It's stolen by Mabry. Goes one-on-one, goes up for the lay-in, and no good. No fouls called either way. And it's controlled by Aloha, and Edwards with it. He goes up, but it looks like it was blocked by Galvin. Hester controls it. He's going to go alone. Go for it, and he dunks it! Hester with the dunk, 50-24. He's got 12 with 1:25 left in the third quarter. Ball's controlled by Aloha. Panton has it on the far side wing. Gets it over to Ling. Finally gets it over to Vanaken, guarded by Mabry, near side wing. Edwards, he gets that pass, and around over to Ling. Takes a 15-footer from the high post, and around and out, controlled by, no, not controlled by Galvin. Panton gets it. Panton tries to drive inside, makes a spin move on Logan, and he's going to miss the shot but get fouled. And Jackson Logan's going to be getting his first of the game.
Logan, first personal, second team foul. For Aloha, number 20, Sam Dennis Panton, shooting 2.
And Panton's going to be shooting his first 2 free throws of the game. He's got 6, but he hasn't been able to make a shot here in the second half. And we're going to have a substitution after this first shot. First shot is up and in. Got the shooter's bounce on that one. So now we've got number 21, Bo Hellman, in the game for Aloha. as well as number 3, Trey Hornbuckle's back in, and Connor Fajardo's in for Southridge. So for Southridge, we've got Fajardo, Logan, Bickler, Mabray, and Hester on the court. Second shot is up. That one is good as well. Panton has 8 as Southridge controls the ball and bring it across half court. Fajardo passes over to Mabray. Mabray makes a move, passes over to Hester down low. Wide open Fajardo doesn't take it. Logan, he does take it from the corner. A little bit long, but controlled by Hester down low. Hester looking for where to go. He's guarded by Panton. He makes a move, goes up, and lays it in with some power there. 52-26 Southridge with 30 seconds left in the third quarter. Hornbuckle guarded by Bickler as he comes across the half-court line. Gets it over to Powers on the far side, who swings it over to Vanaken. He's looking inside, seeing where to go, guarded by Mabray. Finally gets it over to Hellman. Hellman back over to Vanaken on the far side wing. Tries to drive inside off the screen from Powers. Powers gets it now on the pick and roll. He goes up over Hester, and that one's no good. Gets his own rebound, and that one is good.
Aloha bucket number 4, Matthew Powers.
And that's 52-28 with 1 second left. Fajardo finally realizes how much time is left and didn't have enough opportunity to score, to shoot it, excuse me. But it's 52-28 Southridge as we go into the final frame here on Hill Sports 725 on YouTube. We're going to take a quick break as we get ready for the fourth.
Who do I play for? I play high school basketball for every baller who ever played a pickup game on a driveway, playground, or alley. Because we all share the same dream. I play for buzzer beaters, big-time boards, and burying rainmakers. I play high school basketball for the chance to put my hometown in Oregon on the map by playing in a state championship.
Only 0.5% of all high school student athletes play basketball in college. But all 100% of them become adults. That's why playing basketball on their high school team is so important. High school athletes learn life lessons that help them grow up. Lessons that can't be taught in the classroom and often aren't taught at home.
I play high school basketball because I love performing in front of a capacity crowd in my hometown gym.
This message presented by the Oregon School Activities Association and the Oregon Athletic Directors Association.
And we're back here inside the cage at the start of the fourth quarter where your Skyhawks lead at 52-28, and it's going to be Southridge ball to start the fourth quarter.
Southridge ball starts fourth quarter.
Southridge outscored Aloha 23-10 there in that quarter, getting to their lead. And the ball is controlled by Logan as he comes inside. Finally passes over to Mabray, near side wing, guarded by Hellman. Tries to drive inside, met by Hornbuckle, passes across court to Logan. Logan from the corner drives inside, and the charge is going to be called. I didn't think his feet were set, but Logan's going to get called for the charge. And with 15 seconds into the fourth quarter, it's going to be Aloha ball, down 52-28.
Jackson Logan, second personal, third team foul.
Southridge is going to be bringing the full court press as Aloha brings it in on the back court. Vanaken ends up being triple team, but gets it over to Hornbuckle. Gets it over to a wide open Hellman, but doesn't take the shot. Guarded by Fajardo in a hurry. Cross court over to Powers, who drives inside, goes over Hester, and that one's good.
Aloha basket number 4, Matthew Powers.
He's got 8 in this half when he went scoreless in the first. Ball's controlled by Mabry. He drives inside, gets it over to Hester before the alley-oop, but no good. Tries to go up with a layup, and no good on that alley-oop attempt. Controlled by Aloha. Vanaken has it, guarded by Fajardo. Southridge has gone to a man-to-man defense. Hellman, top of the key. Guarded by Mabray, back over to Vanaken. Guarded by Logan now. Powers takes a long three-point shot. Looks short, it is. And controlled by Aloha. Another shot over by Ling, and that one's controlled by Aloha once again. Good set for them. Couldn't get the shot, but Vanaken passes it, but stolen by Mabray. Mabray goes up, an uncontested layup. That one is good. But Powers here broke a streak that Aloha probably didn't want just a moment ago by taking the first three-point shot of the game. Powers with it from the free throw line, takes that shot around and out, controlled by Hester. Fajardo's going to bring it up and pass it over to Logan as he crosses half court. Mabray, near side corner, guarded by Powers. Cross-court pass, but that one's going to be stolen. Stolen by Ling. He's going to go 2-on-2, pass over to Hellman. Hellman goes up for the layup, and that one is good. That makes it 54-32, 6:15 left in the game. Mabry with it, tries to drive inside. It's wide open. He goes up for the layup, and the foul's going to be called on Hornbuckle as Mabry misses the shot, but he's going to end up with 2 from the line. That'll be Hornbuckle's second. 5th team foul for, excuse me, the 4th team foul for Aloha here in the second half. First shot by Mabry is long and not going to get the bounce on that one. As Fullerton is coming in for Hester, Henry will come in for Mabry, but he's the shooter at the moment. Dennis and Donis both back in the game for Aloha. And Lambert's going to be coming in the game if this next shot is made. And that one is short, controlled by Fullerton. He goes up, and that one's no good. And it was controlled by Bickler, but lost the ball, and Aloha controls it now. Pass inside to Powers. Powers double team over to Hornbuckle, and the ball, he tries to go inside and off of Bickler's foot. And it's going to be a Aloha ball as Lambert and Henry come back in for Mabry and Logan. 54-32, Southridge leads it. 5:54 left in the game. Powers is going to be inbounding it for the Warriors. Looking around, passes it over to Ling. Ling to a Hornbuckle from 10 feet in the lane, and that one's good.
Basket number 3, Trey Hornbuckle.
Southridge leads it by 20 still. Henry has it on the near side wing. Gets it over to Lambert. Looks in down low. Fajardo to Henry. Back over to Lambert. Takes a shot from the free throw line. That one's good. No doubt on that one. That one looked good from the get-go. 5.5 left in the game. 56-34. Ball's controlled by Donis. Almost loses it there, but gets it back over to Ling. Ling guarded by Fajardo as Southridge is back in that 2-3 defense. Hornbuckle from the free throw line, guarded by Fullerton, loses the ball while going up, and that's going to be out of bounds on Hornbuckle, and Southridge is going to be controlling it on the inbounds. Fajardo's going to be guarded by Dennis, so Fullerton passes it over to Henry. They're kind of bringing a little bit of a full court press. Ball stolen by Ling, goes up for the layup, and he's going to get the foul. Henry gets the foul while Ling misses the shot, but he's going to get 2. And that'll be Henry's second foul of the game. Still only the 4th foul of the half, so they're not doing too bad. Luke Hustler's going to be coming into the game in just a moment after this first shot. And the first one is up and no good off the back iron. And Ling's get ready for his second shot. That one looks long too, and that one is long, controlled by Henry on the rebound. He gets it over to Hustler. He's going to bring it across half court. And now Lambert has it at the top of the key. Drives inside. Doesn't do anything with it, but back out to Hustler. Bickler now far side corner. And ball nearly stolen by Powers, but Lambert controls it. Drives inside, jump step, and whistle is blown, but he's going to get called for the travel. So a Aloha ball with 4:52 left in the game. 56-34. Southridge leads it. Ling is going to take it across half court here for the Warriors. Guarded by Hustler. Now Hornbuckle inside to Dennis. Dennis from the free throw line makes a move on Fullerton. Tries to go up for the layup, but that one's nowhere near anything. And the ball ends up in Donis's hands, who ends up scoring the 2. And Hustler ends up with it, almost loses it here as they're trying to get past this full court press. Lambert, far side wing, drives down the middle, passes to a wide open Henry for 3. In and out, and in and out, no good. Controlled finally by Hornbuckle. 56-36, 4 minutes left in the game. Ling has the ball for Aloha, guarded by Henry. Looking around what to do, finally gets it over to Donis. Powers now with it, guarded by Bickler. He's looking inside, but nothing there. Hornbuckle with it, takes a 10-foot shot. That one's no good. Ball is loose still in the middle of the lane, controlled by Hustler, and a jump ball is going to be called before Coach Vessel can call his first timeout, and Aloha is going to get the ball on the jump. Tyler Galvin's now coming back in the game for Bradley Bickler, as Aloha is going to be retaining possession here, down 20. And it looks like the referees have found a spot on the floor, so we're going to take a real short break here on Hillsport 725 on YouTube with Southridge up 56.
You're listening to live play-by-play of your Southridge Skyhawk basketball here on YouTube at Hillsport 725.
And we're back here in the cage at Southridge High School. Aloha's going to go ahead and take this opportunity to make a couple of changes here. Entering the game is number 1, Kobe Wilson, as well as number 24, Caleb Turner. Getting some of their bench players some experience here on the varsity side. Ling controls the ball, gets it over to Turner. Turner on the far side, inside to Hornbuckle, over to Ling, drives inside, but that one's no good, and the foul's going to get called. A little bit late on that one, I thought, personally, but it's still going to be a foul, and that one's going to be on Galvin. That'll be his first. And number 5 for Southridge with 3:36 left in the game. Ling's first shot is up and gets the roll. And Southridge is going to be bringing in number 14, one of their JV swingmen. As Ling gets ready for his second free throw. And that one's around it in, just getting the bounce there. And timeout's going to be called, it looks like, by Southridge. Oh, nope. And it's going to be timeout to Aloha. We're going to go ahead and take a quick break here. Southridge leads at 56-38, 3:36.
Hey everyone, this is David Hill, and I just want to thank you for listening to this live stream play-by-play of the game this evening. If you could be so kind, I'd love it if you'd simply click like and feel free to subscribe to Hillsport 725 as we try to add more games to the channel. Comment below with what you liked or didn't. Feel free to email me at hillsport725@gmail.com. Thanks again, and play on.
And we're back here inside the cage at Southridge High School as Aloha is now out of all of their timeouts here with 3:36 left, down 56-38. So here's who's on the court for Aloha here as they're bringing in some JV swingmen on both sides. We've got number 24, Caleb Turner. We've got number 1, Kobe Wilson. We've got number 14, Jeremiah Muth. 22 is Ling, and number 12 is Dennis here for Aloha. Hustler's going to control it over for Southridge. It's going to be Hustler, Lambert, Galvin, Fullerton, and then the JV swingman, number 14, Jared Ebanks. Ebanks does have the ball. He's going to pass it around, swung over to Galvin on the far side. Southridge now bringing his zone defense, 2-3. And Lambert gets the ball from the corner for a long 2, and that one is good. And it's going to be 58-38. Southridge leads it with 3 minutes left in the game. Bradley Bickler is getting ready to come in at the next whistle. Ball's controlled by Turner. Turner looking at the 1-3-1 defense that Southridge has finally brought for the first time this game. Ends up over at Wilson's hands. He drives around looking for somewhere to go. And it's stripped by Galvin. Galvin one-on-one on Turner and misses the layup. And the foul is going to be called. Foul is going to be called on Turner. That's going to be his first. And that'll be number 5 for Southridge, and first for Turner. And first shot is up, and that one looks long. It is long. Galvin's not had a great game today. He's been one of the most consistent players for Southridge. Today he's only got 2 points. And he's shooting 1 for 6, 0 for 1 from the three-pointer, and missed his first free throw. Second shot is up. That one looks long, but that one is good this time. So his first basket of the second half, he's got 3. Jackson Logan's going to be coming in for Tyler Galvin. 59-38 Southridge with 2:47 left in the game. So Hustler, Bickler, Logan, Lambert, and Ebanks are all in the game for Southridge. Wilson has the ball for Aloha, driving her around, guarded by Logan. Looking inside. Finally gets it over to Wilson. To Turner. Turner drives down into the lane, passes it over to Wilson. Wilson passes out to Vanaken, and the ball goes out of bounds as he can't control the pass, and it goes out. Southridge making one more substitution. Pono Van Dusen, another JV swingman, in for the game for Ryan Lambert. Hustler's going to control it with just under 2.5 left. Southridge up 21 points, guarded by Vanaken. Brings it across half court, gets it over to Bickler. Bickler, top of the key, gets it over to Van Dusen. Van Dusen, he likes to score and he likes to move quickly. Back over to Bickler, down low, guarded by Hellman. Logan for a wide open three from top of the key, no good. Controlled by Bickler, and that one is good. 61-38 Southridge with just over 2 minutes left in the game. Vanaken gets it over to Wilson on the far side wing. Passes it over to Turner. Turner over to Hellman. Hellman takes a three-pointer over to Van Dusen. No good, controlled by Bickler. Gets it over to Van Dusen. He's going to fly. He's going to move it, pulls it back finally, and gets over to Bickler, who's going to go into the lane, shoots a floater, and that one is good. Good move. Good move by both Van Dusen and Bickler to recognize the defense on that one. 63-38, Southridge. Ball's controlled. Ball's controlled by Muth. Muth over to Hellman, back over to Vanaken. Turner with it. Looks to cut inside, but nothing. Turner for a long three now. That one's long. Controlled by Logan. Hustler bringing it up. Gets it over to Bickler, down low. It's guarded by Wilson. Van Dusen has it. Bickler wide open for the three. From the corner. Takes it. No good. Controlled by Aloha. 62 seconds left in the game. Vanaken has the ball for Aloha. 63-38. Southridge leads it, and Muth shoots a long three, and that one is good. 52 seconds left. Ebanks has it. He drives into the lane. Nothing there. Looking around to where to go. Gets it over to Hustler. Hustler takes the three. That one's up, and that one's no good. Southridge bench really wanted that one to go in. Vanaken, he makes a move. Shoots from the free throw line. No good. Controlled by Southridge. Van Dusen, he's trying to push it up. He gets it inside to Bickler, who's open for the layup. Tries to dunk it and can't quite reach it, and kind of gives up on the play, but Wilson has the ball. He's driving it up. He's trying to make a move, trying to do something. Turner shoots a three. That one is good as well. And the ball's inbounded to Bickler, who's in the front court now. And controlled by Logan with 8 seconds left in the game. 63-44, Southridge leads it. Van Dusen's going to be the one to hold it for the final seconds. And just kind of moves around. Logan has it, and that's going to be your final as Southridge wins 5 in a row. 63-44 over the Aloha Warriors, and that's 5 in a row. They're going to be moving up the standings here as they play a couple of tough teams here this next week. But we'll be right back after this break and have some post-game comments here on Hill Sports 725 on YouTube.
Who do I play for? I play high school basketball for every baller who ever played a pickup game on a driveway, playground, or alley. Because we all share the same dream. I play for buzzer beaters, big-time boards, and burying rainmakers. I play high school basketball for the chance to put my hometown in Oregon on the map by playing in a state championship.
Only 0.5% of all high school student athletes play basketball in college. But all 100% of them become adults. That's why playing basketball on their high school team is so important. High school athletes learn life lessons that help them grow up. Lessons that can't be taught in the classroom and often aren't taught at home.
I play high school basketball because I love performing in front of a capacity crowd in my hometown gym.
This message presented by the Oregon School Activities Association and the Oregon Athletic Directors Association.
And we're back inside the cage where your Skyhawks end up with the victory, winning over the Aloha Warriors 63-44, winning 5 in a row, 7 of their last 8, and trying to keep pace with the leaders, Beaverton and Westview, in the Metro League. Now, this is one of those games where Tyler Galvin's normally a spark. You got Zach Galvin was out still with a concussion. You've got Cade Hustler who is out with a injury as well. Tyler Galvin ends up with 3 points on the night. He's normally good for about 12 or 13 on average. Instead, here's where they get their offense from. Robert Hester, he ends up with 16. Brock Henry, he ends up with 9. We've got Philip Fullerton, he ends up with 11. So it was pretty spread out here. Some great defense by the Skyhawks, and just Aloha just had really no answers for them, except for in the first quarter when they played very well. They played with some intensity, couldn't end the quarter with the lead, and just fell further and further behind against this dominating Skyhawk team, ranked number 13 in the OSAA, and could move up in those rankings after the week that they've had. Over on the Aloha side, Powers, scoreless in the first half, ends up with 8. Hornbuckle had 6 in the first. He ends up with 8. Ling ends up with 10. Didn't score anything in the second and third quarter, and finally scored again in the fourth. Donis had 2. Pantin from the bench, the star from the bench, absolutely. He ends up with 8 points. And then Muth there in the last couple of minutes gets a couple of 3-pointers. He ends up with 6. So let's go ahead and talk about the keys to the game here for a moment before we close up shop. Once again, win the post battle, absolutely did that. Hester, Lambert, and Fullerton all were doing a great job there down low. Aloha was able to get some offensive rebounds, not a lot. They were also able to get some second opportunities off of the steals when Southridge wasn't paying attention on getting those defensive rebounds. But all in all, points-wise, the rebound battle, Southridge definitely won that. Foul trouble. Southridge did a great job keeping the fouls under control. They never got into the bonus, certainly didn't get into the double bonus there, and really just watched out for that. Got a few calls late, but that they were fine by that, but certainly by that point. And guarding the 3, Southridge up until the fourth quarter didn't take a single 3-point shot against this Skyhawk team. In the fourth quarter, they end up taking 5 3-pointers, hitting 2 of them, both by Muth. So, I mean, they shot 40% there in the final 2 minutes of the game when the game was in doubt. So I'm still going to call that a win for the Skyhawks here. So great game by the Skyhawks all the way around. Here's the rest of their schedule for the next couple of weeks. Tuesday, they play at Jesuit on the 7th. On the 14th, 1 week later, they play at Aloha. So they actually do play this team a second time in just a couple of weeks. So Aloha's going to get their chance at revenge there. That following Friday, the 17th, that's the grudge match against Beaverton. So they're going to really want to show up for that one. And then they close out shop at home on the 21st against Century. So 4 games left in the season, pushing for the postseason here. They're ranked 13th right now, and they're in the top 4 of the Metro League. They're right where they want to be as far as postseason placement goes. They can make some moves. Now, in the Metro League, they are down 2 games to Beaverton and Westview, and they're leading Jesuit by only a game, I believe. Let's check the standings here. Yeah, they're only leading Jesuit by 1 game here going into today, down 2 games to Westview and Beaverton. And so they need a little bit of help up front. They can help themselves with games against Jesuit and Beaverton, but they need Westview to lose a couple. They need Beaverton to lose a couple. What they really need to do is win their last 4 games, of the season, and put pressure on those teams. Beaverton and Sunset play tonight. It's the only other Metro League action, so we're rooting hardcore for the Apollos to get that upset there. So that's it for me tonight. Once again, I'm David Hill here with Hill Sports 725. Go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe. It'd be a great help to me if you would do that. Comment below with what you liked in the game. Feel free to email me at hillsport725@gmail.com. I'm also on Twitter at hillsport725. It's a great day to be a Skyhawk as your Skyhawks win the game against the Aloha Warriors here tonight inside the cage. And we'll see you again soon. Thanks again.